Good sir.
Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, it's been a few weeks, hasn't it?
Yeah. Hi, I'm DJ. This is David. Welcome to the Hairy Knuckle episode. Is that 6 or 7?
6 or 7? I think it might be.
I don't think we've done 8. I don't think we've gone that far.
So 7.
Yeah. Or 6.
Yeah.
I know I have 5 actually saved.
Right.
I mean, the last one, I think we're on 7. Yeah.
Everybody's eagerly waiting for numbers 7 and 8 to be out.
Yeah. That's where everything skyrockets. And the truth be known, we've recorded 7 of these and we've only posted 1 of them because we're still working on editors that can do the video for us in a manner that's satisfactory to me. Like the videos that I've seen so far, David looks like he's wearing makeup.
Yeah.
And I look really white.
Right.
So
I mean, it's Pride Month, so in the spirit of Pride Month, I look like I'm wearing makeup.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm a spirited guy. If it's Halloween, I'm dressed up. If it's Pride Month, I'm wearing makeup.
Do we want to go into Pride Month?
Do we want to go into it? Yeah. I don't want to go into anything associated with Pride Month.
Okay, good.
You know, that might be a question that, let's talk about that a little bit, because it might be a question that comes up. I noticed on the other dating apps, when you pick your gender, you also choose who you want to date.
Yeah.
Right? So we're a smaller company. It's just you and I, for the most part. We have a development team. We have other engineers that are working, but you know, the hive mind behind it all is you and I, right? So our algorithm, it's a complex algorithm. It's pulling in a lot of information, a lot of studies. We don't have anything for any kind of untraditional relationships outside of heterosexual relationships, right?
Well, what's also interesting, it should be noted on that, we don't have any significant research data to actually develop anything for LGBTQ communities. We just don't. I mean, when we have that information and we can actually build a model that works well for them, but until then, we just don't have the information to actually help people in those communities, unfortunately. It's not that we don't care, it's just we don't have the information.
Yeah, but I mean, if you want to delve into it a little bit more, I don't think we will. I think as far as our mission statement, it's really focused on bringing 2 people together using as much data as possible that's out there, so these people can have a long-term relationship that's family-oriented.
Well, the research data that we have is primarily exclusively heterosexual.
It is.
And it's over decades of data. It's not. So we're a startup, and we can spend enormous amounts of resources, our time primarily, trying to research LGBTQ communities, and it'll only be like 4% of our market. So we have to do the 80-20 rule, where we focus 80%, or we have to focus all of our energies on what's going to capture 80% of the market. Yeah.
But as far as our mission statement too, I think that aligns closer to what we're trying to present as well.
Yeah, no, it is.
I think if you go on, you download these other apps, I think you're overwhelmed by counterculture, sort of the bisexuals, transsexuals, you know, gays, things like that, which more power to them. They can do what they want, but there's a lot of resources, a lot of apps. The market has a place for them. Our app is not that. Right. So we're focusing on individuals that are looking for committed heterosexual relationships. And it's not that we're completely against all of that, but that's our mission statement. That's where our algorithm is focused. And I don't think we're going to ever delve into that other side of things. I think the other apps have made it clear that that's something they want to focus on, but not us, right?
Right.
And it has nothing to do with discrimination or anything like that. It's our mission statement. It's what we believe in.
It's the economics as well of it. You know what I mean? It's like what we know is what we know. The data, what we have is what we're going to focus on. What we do best.
Yeah.
And that's heterosexual relationships.
And there is a demographic that wants that. And we talked about Gen Z, right? I feel like they
Oh yeah, Gen Z.
a lot of these apps, and I want to delve into this again because these are billion-dollar companies.
Yep.
They do a tremendous amount of research, right? They have an algorithm that's very precise. They know what they're doing now.
And they know how to keep people single.
Yes, exactly.
That if we have customers that are using our apps for greater than 3 months, there's two problems. Primarily, first and foremost, I think it's because the person that's on it doesn't really want to be in a long-term relationship. Right. We have an issue with the algorithm.
Yeah.
And I'm going to push back on that. I'm going to say it's because the person doesn't really want an LTR.
Yeah, but not the person. We don't want to blame the person though, right? Not the individual that wants to date. I think, and we're gonna be very clear on this. Those dating apps are out right now. These are billion-dollar companies. They have a tremendous amount of research. They have really good analysts. They develop a very precise algorithm, right?
They're modifying their algorithm.
Yes. What they're doing is they've developed a system to keep people single and on the app.
Right.
And I'm going to go out and just say it. That is their mission statement.
That is egregious.
Exactly. And what they've done is that they've realized that, wait a second, this Gen Z, this younger generation, actually doesn't want to just have one-night stands and objectify individuals. So they've watered down that sort of, right? They've moved from let's call it what it is, a spade. They moved from Tinder to Hinge. Right. And now they're focusing.
Well, Hinge is just
it's the same thing. But as far as marketing, branding, they've moved from one to another to essentially sort of mask what they're actually doing. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing. You're involved in the same mechanism that initially failed people. That mechanism is still going on with these other dating apps that are focusing on relationships.
They want to keep you on the app as long as possible and extract as much money from you as they possibly can.
I would go a little further than that. I would say these companies, that's what they want to do. But these companies, it feels like they actually don't want people to be in a long-term relationship and create a family. That's almost what it feels like. It feels like that they're focused on dissolution of the nuclear family. That's what it feels like.
I mean, I can see it.
Because Absolutely. Of the branding, the way they're promoting. When you download these apps, the first thing you're presented with.
Like you're going to be the happiest with your single self, doing whatever you want all the time.
You're presented with things like polyamory.
Oh my.
You're presented with things like, transsexuals. You're presented with people that just want one-night stands. You're presented with derogatory conversations. You're presented with people ghosting you. You're presented with this culture
with really unhealthy people.
Yeah,
and I mean honestly,
no. And again, I don't want to blame the people. It's the mechanism that they're using.
Yeah, but
that encourages this. The people are not people. Like, let's read a message that we got the other day.
That message is incredible.
These are the people, DJ. These are the people.
David, you want to read that? It's closest to you.
Dear Orra, I hope you work. I'm feeling less thrilled to get back on the dating scene. Options are bad, but I'm willing to sign up and pray for a miracle with AI. Why not? What's the worst that could happen? I think I've seen it all.
That's sad.
No, yeah, and it's not the people. These are the people.
Was that a woman or a man?
It's a man.
Yeah.
His name is Lance.
Yeah. It's people like that give me motivation to continue this process. Tense. It's like incredibly motivating. Like people are relying on us.
And we thought about this message for a while, didn't we?
Yeah, we've seen this for a while.
I read this message in the evening. I thought about it in the morning. I thought about it when I was at the gym, and I'm like, this epitomizes the dating scene right now. This is the epitome of the dating scene. This encapsulates the entire sentiment right now. Is people are defeated, they're hurt, they're disgusted, they're confused, they don't
even know what to believe.
They have anger and frustration to the opposite sex. So it's just this crazy scene.
It's almost like a men against women type mentality instead of like, hey, let's come together and like
And I'm not going to give the dating apps, those companies, a pass and saying, I feel like they're saying like, oh well, we didn't intend for this. We didn't intend for this to happen.
Yeah.
This just happened. People are single. People are frustrated. We didn't intend for this to happen. No. That is bullshit. You guys did intend for this to happen. the entire mechanism of your dating app is built to keep people single, to keep people frustrated, to keep people frustrated with the opposite sex. This is what you guys built.
There was something I read recently about the quantity of bots that are on like Tinder and Hinge, and it's a huge. I don't know.
Come to my OnlyFans. Come to my Instagram. I need attention. Come to my Instagram.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
And you know how we did that? We don't allow people to create a bio.
Oh yeah, no.
We don't want any attention seekers. We don't want any OnlyFans content.
We
don't want any of
people
that
to see the picture until after you've had an exchange with an individual.
So
we go to quite an extent to limit who can actually sign up for this.
Yeah.
Like you can't just be a bot. Just can't log in, create an account, and get verified. You know what I mean? It's like if you're not verified, you're not going to be on it. There's no reason for you to be on it unless you're an actual real human being with real intentions of dating.
Right. So yeah.
I mean, it's just like the bar is set so low for us to, Orra is doing shit up here, but the bar, everybody else is so far down and so low.
Well, why did they build it like this? Why? I want to know that.
They want to extract money. It's a money-making endeavor.
So they actually. So what percentage of people, single people, are on dating apps or are trying to meet others online? I think it was over 60%.
I think those numbers have decreased actually recently.
They've probably decreased just slightly, but they.
What was it, like 10% drop?
No, that's in their revenue. But the users, they're moving to different apps. I think the revenue drop is Tinder, but they're moving to like Hinge. They're moving to Match.com. They're moving to these other dating apps that tried to brand themselves as being more relationship oriented.
Right.
But at the same time, like 60% of people are finding or trying to find a significant other on these dating apps. How much of their mission statement and the people that are working for these apps actually care about these individuals? This is what I'm confused on. Like, do you actually care that these people find somebody that they're compatible with? Like, think about it. So for us, you're telling me that what they want to do is they want you to be on the app as much as possible, right? Yep. And they want to extract money from you, right? Mm. They need users. They need you to be on the app. It's not designed to be uninstalled like some of them say they are. They're designed to just keep it installed. So what is the corollary? So in our perspective, it is, I think the biggest.
It's like gambling, actually.
Yeah, it is. And they have a lot of analysts that actually look into that. But the thing for us is, I think the best thing for us as far as marketing from business perspective is if somebody downloads Orra and another person downloads Orra and they find each other and they actually are in a committed relationship or they even get married, that story of how you guys met, to me, is the most powerful one. Marketing, from a marketing perspective, it's the most powerful marketing tool we could have. And the success stories are incredible.
It's incredibly wholesome.
It is.
It's not like a Tinder.
Because what do you hear on dating apps? Usually you hear horror stories, right?
Oh, yeah.
What's your dating online horror story? And everybody's got one, right? Everybody's got one. You all have one. But what about the opposite? What if there's success stories, which you rarely hear about?
Right.
That's from our perspective, from our mission statement, and from our values as a company. That's what we want. If you download the app and you meet somebody the first day you have the app and that person meets you and you guys are in a committed relationship and you uninstall the app the next day.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Please do that. Yeah. Please.
Yeah.
Don't ever download our app again.
Yeah.
We would be completely happy with that. That's what we want.
Well, I mean, what is it? 60% of users on Tinder are already in a relationship?
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about this earlier about the poly thing. And we brought it up again, but we were talking to one of our colleagues classmates in grad school, and how prevalent it is.
Yeah.
And what'd she say? Like everybody's
in one right now.
I was like, geez.
I said, because you hear about it.
Yeah.
But I think most businesses don't do this, but I'm gonna say this right now. If your intention is not to be in an LTR, a long-term relationship, and your intention is to just sleep around, your intention is to you're already married,
don't be on our app.
don't download our app.
Yeah,
we don't want you. We don't want you.
Yeah,
we don't want your business. I don't care if you pay for premium. We don't want your business. There are other apps where you would be a better customer. Don't download our app. How about that?
And when and if and when you find out, you'll be removed. So this is not for people that want to play.
Because we've talked about this before. I feel like there is a spiritual battle going on right now.
Oh, absolutely.
There's this, and this is how we think about our company.
Yeah.
When we wake up and you and I work, and you're doing marketing and I'm working on the app, there's a spiritual battle going on, and I feel like we're in a part of it. We've unsheathed our swords, and I feel like we're actually going to battle because there is this spiritual battle going on.
Yeah.
And you can feel it.
You can see it in the people that are like on these other dating apps, and you see what they've gone through, and you're like, good God.
Yeah.
You know, like, you're not a better person for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I want us to be the catalyst for changing that entire dynamic.
Right. Right. So I feel for the people that feel defeated, for the people that are lonely, for the people that are hopeless in dating, like we want to go to battle for you guys.
Yeah.
That's who we're fighting for, right?
Yeah.
That's who we want to better. We want you to have hope, to actually meet good people, to have good conversations. Yeah, good conversations.
Yeah.
To be excited about dating again.
Like dating quality people.
Yeah, exactly. That are closely aligned to you. And values-based dating compared to what would you call the other apps? So values-based dating versus swipe-based dating.
Like hookup culture.
Hookup apps. Hookup apps.
Because anything that's swipe-based is a hot or not type.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and I get there is a huge amount of physical attraction that is very important in dating. And we do
Good point.
We need to clarify that.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be attracted to the person you're not only like physically, which is your first indication. I get that. But if you back it up and you already address like you're emotionally attracted to that person because they share the same values as you, like we're doing that first, and then you can decide whether or not you like what they look like.
Yeah.
So,
but I think we've all
not if you like what they look like.
Right. Yeah. But they're so clever. Like, we've all had this. I mean, we've all used dating apps, right? It's when
catfishing.
No, when you're a free user, right, on some of these other dating apps, and one of the mechanisms for premium, or one of the features of premium, is see who likes you. And so you're sitting there using it as a free user, and you get all these notifications like you have 15 users that have liked you, and you can't see who they are.
I know. Yeah.
But then you pay for premium and you see who they are, and you're like,
you're like, who the hell is this?
What is going on? Is this a joke? Or you're horrified. Is this Halloween started?
Oh man.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. It's like jump scares. They just come at you out of the screen, like. But the reason I'm saying that is when in Orra the experience,
or they're 7,000 miles away.
In Orra the experience, exactly. Or the Orra the experience is physical attraction is very important. It's one of the most important metrics that we use. Mm-hmm. We know what you guys look like, and our members and our AI work together to obviously consider all of the values, but at the same time the appearance as well. Yeah. So you're never, or at least we want to get there. We want to get there eventually. You're never matched up with somebody who's completely, and I hate using this word, but I'm going to use it anyway, out of your league.
Yeah, right? I don't like the term, but yeah.
Yeah, because there's not.
We don't want to, like, and I hate this. Like, let's say the average person is a 5.
Yeah.
Average man or woman they're a 5. 5 is average, right?
Mm-hmm.
We would never pair somebody that was like a 1 with a 9.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? It's just like, and the AI takes that into consideration. And that aspect of the app may change over time, but we definitely, that is, let's just leave it at this. It's an important aspect. We want to make sure it's maintained.
Yeah.
We want to provide good quality matches, not only physically, but also emotionally and
The physical aspect.
Well, not the physical, but like that I already mentioned. But
yeah,
just a very high quality.
Emotionally, spiritually, and physically.
Physically, financially as well.
Yeah.
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 I mean, that's why we just the four.
Anything that the research supports, because obviously the research supports that people that are in similar, again, I'm going to use the word again, leagues, those are the people that tend to be together, right?
Yeah.
It's not like completely like somebody that, and we have nothing against obese people or anything, but somebody that's very obese that doesn't take care of himself and somebody that's very fit, it just doesn't work out.
Well, obviously the person that is not taking care of themselves physically doesn't have the same value system as somebody who is.
Right. But they'll sleep around. Those two will sleep around.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, that will happen. That's why they match you up.
No, absolutely.
But not long-term relationships.
We want long-term relationships.
Yeah.
That's what we're about.
Or dating, right?
Yeah. So we weren't really intending to have this podcast today, but we were having a good conversation, so we decided we would turn on the camera.
Yeah. And we kind of digressed. You wanted to talk about something else, didn't you?
We were talking about. I want to do an update where we are with Orra.
Go ahead.
So I already mentioned this. This is our 6th or 7th recording. Yeah. The others are in various stages of being edited so that they can be uploaded.
You all can thank DJ for that.
Yeah, I'm the reason.
If you're eagerly waiting, which I'm sure so many people are.
It's full responsibility.
We have 15 views in our first podcast, which is incredible. Very happy about it.
Oh, 15 Indians? I told you.
I don't care where they're from.
Market.
I don't care where they're from.
Yeah, well.
But we love the messages. Like, if you guys send us messages, like, we want to hear feedback. I wonder if anybody would link our podcast to our app yet. I don't think anybody's done that yet. I think they visit the website, and they look at the app, and then they leave us messages. But
I linked our website from the podcast.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody sent us a message linking from the podcast to the app yet.
Yeah.
But I'm curious if anybody does, please leave us a message because we look forward to it. Like, I want to read these, even if it's negative. Like, bro, you need to stop wearing socks and wear some shoes. Nobody wants to look at your socks, bro. And DJ looks too dark there in the corner.
This corner, the white guy in the dark section.
David's face is terrible. He needs to wear more makeup. Like, give us input. We don't care. Yeah. We're very thick-skinned. Yeah. So. But we'd love to hear from you guys. Like,
when do you think we'll be able to? Like, you're going to get the latest build.
Yeah. So we're.
Did you get the final information from Mumford?
Yeah. So we had an issue with the app where I wasn't content with the matching system,
which is important.
Yeah, it's very important. So we delayed release, and what we're going to do is we're going to upload it to both the Apple Store and Google Play, and it's going to be private. We're going to test it between family and friends, but we have a completed app.
If you have an interest in being part of that beta version, hit us up,
please,
and we would love to do that, especially if you are in the Salt Lake market.
Yeah,
we are starting in the Salt Lake market.
Marketing
in marketing here. It's going to be available anywhere, but
in the U.S.
Yeah. But I don't know if your user experience is going to be the best if you're in wherever. Yeah. Like a small town in Nebraska. Yeah. Maybe, who knows? But we're going to focus on initially in the Salt Lake market and see how it does, and then we'll expand it from there. We'll let you know. But
that mechanism of, I think I want to talk about that, and I thought about it the other day, is the mechanism of like how on these other dating apps you can travel to different locations. I don't like that. Because what is that doing? If you think about it, it's like, oh, I'm going to be in New York in a week. Let me see if I can hook up with somebody or spend some time.
We're not hook about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't like the travel feature. I don't know if that's what people really
we don't
want.
Have that initially, but
it's like you're going to find somebody for where you live.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't need to look at somebody in Thailand unless you're really keen on just finding a wife in Thailand or a husband.
Then you should move to Thailand.
Then you should go there.
Yeah.
I don't see value, and let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong.
That entire feature on those apps is all about, instant gratification while you're traveling or whatever.
It
You know what
is.
I mean? It's
Yeah,
like,
it is. That's why they do it.
Yeah.
It's
No,
another
exactly.
They know
It's
exactly
like,
what they're doing
yeah.
because they spent a lot of time researching that aspect. Like, oh, when people travel, they want to date, they want to hook up. So let's allow them to speak to people before, so when they go there, they can do that.
Right.
That's another degenerate mechanism.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to include that in the app.
No, I don't want you to include
No.
that in the app.
No.
I mean, if you are thinking about it, we should have a lengthy discussion of why that would be.
There's no value in that.
Yeah, there's no value. At least in what we're trying to do. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Are you done with the update on? So when do you think we'll be able to upload that?
Yeah. So we're going to test it next week between family and friends.
Okay.
And then I suspect it'll take maybe a week before we can release it to everybody else. So give me 2 weeks, and it's going to be live. Also,
another thing we're going to be on Monday. Today is Saturday. We're going to be going to a resource center, the UVU University of Utah Valley University. Resource center to look at working space that has a studio and a podcast studio with cameras that are better quality than what we're using. Yeah. And so, who knows, going forward, you may see us in a different location. Yeah, we're gonna start going there, right? Yeah, if they'll allow us. Yeah, which would be really cool. So, which I also like that idea for many reasons. Gen Z are there. They're all in college. Yeah, for the most part. Love to get their input. Love to get their input. Yeah. Very special generation, and I keep saying that. Very special generation. We'll be able to bring them on to and actually interview them in person, which that will be incredible. Yeah. And get some feedback on the app as well. So right. Yeah, and this is going to be the beta version, so people are going to test it. One thing that we really want, and something that I'm sort of gathering information on, is once you look at the app and you test it out for a little bit, I want to know what features you guys want to see and what you guys want to see improved. Yeah. Because that's something we're going to work on and develop fairly quickly, right? Yeah. Because the first, like Hemingway said, the first version of everything is shit. Mm-hmm. The first draft of everything is shit, is what he meant, especially in writing. But you can apply that in apps and develop a product or whatever. The first version, the MVP, is going to be shit. Ours is not going to be shit because we have a little bit more experience with MVPs and things like that. Mm-hmm. But I want to know, like, what do you guys want? What features? How can we improve it? How can we make it more in tune with something you guys would be using every single day, right? Yep. And we did move away from like you're getting matches one time in the evening, right? Yeah, which I think is great. Yeah, it is. Yeah. For the free version, you're getting that one opportunity once a day. Right. But every match you get is very, very, very high quality and highly compatible. Like you could have 50 matches on Tinder that are all going to be poor. Yes. Or you can have one a day that's high quality. Yeah. And it's been the opportunity for one a day. One opportunity, right. It's 50-50. Yeah. And you visit our website. I think you're uploading a how-to on how it works, so people can kind of understand. It. Yeah. We got that video back. Right. The other thing we should mention that I'm working on, I want to talk about Sputnik ATX, that application. So if we get this, we're applying to it's kind of like a incubator. You have to be there for 3 months. It's in Austin, Texas. So if we get that, I'm working on the application. It's quite extensive. Yeah. And if we get that, we'll be there from like August till November, which would be interesting. You have experience with that because DJ's company, other company, Sawtooth, was actually approved for that a few years ago, right? Yeah. And if we get selected for that, we're going to have to do an in-person interview as well. Right. Yeah. So we'll have to go to Austin for an interview. We're great in person. They're going to love us. Yeah. We're just, you couldn't resist. Actually, I think it'd be a great market also for us to launch into. Austin's great. Yeah. It is great. So. Austin's amazing. That's enough, I guess, update for Orra. Yeah. Do you want to talk about what you're doing with Helixer? Yeah, with Helixer, we're
We're waiting on the app development team. We came up with another issue where they need to reprogram the microcontroller. And so what we had to do is we need to send them a microcontroller, actually physical one. And we looked at shipping. It's like $80 for like this ship to India, where the development team is. So I actually sent them a link to one to AliExpress, one to Amazon, for them to purchase it themselves. And then we're sending them the code to program onto that microcontroller, so we can start debugging the issues that the engineers here were having.
Cool.
So that's the big thing. So they've just ordered it and they're waiting to get that microcontroller. So that's kind of where I'm at with Helixer. But what's up with Sawtooth?
So I'm still working with this. Well, the first company I've been working on it with China to try to outsource all production.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, let me tell you, we're done producing in the United States.
Right.
Yeah. Like we have a lot of inventory right now. I mean, a lot.
Yeah.
We have not a fair amount, probably like, I don't know, $50,000 or $60,000 worth of inventory right now.
Yeah.
Here, and we're done. We're going to move out of our warehouse in July, and my first.
That's huge. Moving out of the warehouse, where you've been fulfilling everything. That's massive.
Yeah.
Because I call DJ an asshole every single day because, and I want you guys to know one thing is that what DJ and I are doing is we're trying to automate our other companies.
Yeah. Because
our passion lies with Orra.
Yeah.
So that's what we're working towards.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to splinter away from our other companies as far as automating them. And we want to focus solely on Orra because, like we said, this important spiritual battle that's going on right now, we feel it, we understand it. And I think all of you guys understand it as well, that something needs to be had. There needs to be a change.
Yeah.
And so that's super valuable to us and super important. So that's what we're focusing on, right?
Yeah.
So
the first assembly company that would do all assembly and packaging, I can't get them to respond to me timely. But the second company is appearing to be a much more responsive and much more eager company to do the work for me.
Yeah.
And they sent me their quote. It was a little high, and I sent them an email back like, this is not economically feasible.
Yeah.
I found some other companies that we've been working with in the past that do subcomponents.
Yeah.
That would help us drop the price significantly. And they're like, yes, please share those so we can incorporate that into the pricing.
Right.
And so I've got most of those assembled, and we'll send those over. And I think I will be the lowest cost producer of tonneaus in the entire market.
So if you're looking for a tonneau, like, don't go anywhere else. Like, you have to be crazy to go anywhere else. The other tonneaus are garbage. I'm just gonna say it right away.
They have their purposes.
Their purposes, but if you're looking for something that's super versatile, you want to secure your cargo, you don't want it moving around, and you want to look sleek and fresh on the road, you got to go to Sawtooth. That's the only way that you should be in 2024 securing your load. How do you like that, Marcus? You like that commercial, huh? Yeah, he loved it. I got him real perked up when I said securing your load.
Nothing takes a load like Sawtooth.
Jesus. This is a family channel.
I know.
This is a family channel. No, it isn't. Get your fucking kids off the fucking channel. This is not a family channel. My God.
I mean,
family values.
Time and time again.
And that's family values, but not a family channel.
No, yeah, we do. Actually, we are the most wholesome and unwholesome people we know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how it should be, right? Yeah.
I mean, like, where it counts, we are wholesome.
Yeah.
Like, we do value families. We value long-term relationships.
Yeah.
We value those things. But then we're dichotomous.
But that's very interesting, right? You think if there's a spiritual battle, it's going to be like abstinent, super religious fellas battling atheist against family type institutions, right? But it's not. Well, it's not like that.
It's a lot.
It's
more nuanced.
It is way more nuanced than that.
It's not a black and white thing.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to portray it as that. And
it's not like that.
Not at all.
Yeah. There was something you wanted to talk about. I think that when you and I were having a conversation, we're like, let's just have this conversation on the podcast. You and I were eating some cheese and hanging out, and we got onto with some subjects. Do you remember what we were talking about?
No, I wish I would have wrote those down. We did talk about it. I wouldn't say it was a rant, but I think we touched on all of them a little bit.
We were taught you read a book recently, and we were talking about that book.
Yeah, I read. So there's this great book. And it's by No More Mr. Nice Guy. That's what it is. By
we were talking about that.
Not Dr. something Glover, something like.
Okay.
Not Danny Glover.
It doesn't matter. What were you talking about?
And we were talking about the author of this book, which I would recommend everybody read this book. It's really incredible.
Yeah, I haven't read it yet.
That nice guys tend to be, not because they want to lie, but they tend to be liars in that they're not truly honest with themselves and the people around them. They're not fully living their lives according to their own value system. They are, I like a better term, the like kind of yes men. You know what I mean? Like doing what other...
Yeah, but the example that we were talking about, we have a colleague, we're not going to say his name, we're going to call him Jimmy. All right, we're talking about Jimmy. He has a company. He was in our cohort, right? And you had said that Jimmy is a nice guy.
I know he's a nice
guy. No. So
Jimmy LDS, and he's I probably going to triggered a bunch of people. Like I was raised LDS, right?
Yeah.
And I was raised to always say yes to, like, if you're called to, they're called callings where you help in church, right? And you always say yes to those because you're highly incentivized to, even though if you feel it's not a good match for you. And when you always say yes to things that, even if you don't believe in them, that I think it trains you not to be honest with yourself and the people around you. And I don't think you do well in it either.
Right.
But that's just one aspect of it.
Yeah, but I think the disagreement we were having is I was distinguishing between two different types of men, right? One is a man that has an intention and is being manipulative because he has a specific objective, right?
You think that what Jimmy is doing?
Yes, that's what I think he's doing. And there's the other type of man that is actually, there's a layer of innocence that he has, where he actually doesn't know. Ignorance or innocence, you can call it what you will, who is being nice because that's just how he is. He doesn't know any better. Jimmy is the former, right?
I think he's both. I think you could buy.
So I'm going to give you some examples, right, about Jimmy. Jimmy is an entrepreneur. He's a CEO. We, in our cohort, Jimmy had two other individuals in his cohort, in our cohort, in his company that came through. Jimmy, mid-year, ended up firing one of the individuals to express his dominance as an entrepreneurial.
Well, I don't think he was
That is not somebody that's ignorant or innocent. That's somebody that knows what he's doing. He's cutthroat and he's being manipulative. So when he's nice, he's actually just doing that to complete a specific objective.
In Jimmy's defense,
he's not a nice guy.
I think he is. But let me, into his defense.
Okay.
I don't think we weren't part of the conversations that he had. He may have expressed multiple times that your focus should be on his company. Right. And this other person may have decided, I don't know, was part of those conversations, but may have decided that he was going to focus on studies as opposed to focusing on the company.
Yeah, but you have to think about,
if he would have communicated properly.
No, but I
think there's a little bit of element if he wasn't a great communicator, an enforcer of what he wanted to have happen for his company.
Usually you got to think about the timing. We're mid-year.
Yeah.
He's already gone through half of it. Was the timing that drastic that Jimmy couldn't wait until the year ended before he did that? Or did Jimmy want to prove something to the professors, to the cohort?
Who eventually invested in him?
Yeah. Did he want to prove something to everybody there and did that as a way of just sort of asserting himself, because he could have waited 4 months,
You
right?
could have.
So was
But he
it
still
that
paying this guy
drastic?
full time too.
Was it drastic that he needed to do that?
Yeah, it was a shock to everybody actually.
Yeah, it was a big ordeal, I thought,
Yeah.
for the most part. So I don't feel like he was a nice guy. I feel like he just doesn't know he's a manipulative guy.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, you may be right.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like Jimmy. Technically.
Yeah.
I mean, not technically. I do like him. But I try to give people the benefit of the doubt to an extent.
Right.
But I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you've also had conversations with other people that I haven't, so you have probably a better picture on the entire situation.
Yeah. You got to take care of your people, man. When you're an entrepreneur, you just do.
Well, I think you have to be. Yes, you have to do that, and I think you also have to make sure your expectations are communicated extremely clearly to that other person. You know what I mean? Like, there's been times where, like, you and I, we don't communicate. We communicate. We talk all the time, like several times a day. But there's times that we don't. You know what I mean? And we don't set. That's another reason why this book is good, because it's all about setting expectations and communicating those and setting boundaries.
Right.
And I'm like, and I haven't been a great boundary setter. And I, reading this book,
And you recently did that with your wife.
I did. I was just going there. Thank you. Yeah. So,
which is a big thing, because
like,
DJ has had, just to give people context.
Yeah.
He's had a. If you mind for me going there, are you okay with me going there?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be. Don't worry.
Yeah.
He's had let's to be kind, a tumultuous marriage, right?
Yeah.
A tumultuous marriage where they haven't quite seen eye to eye, and through the course of the marriage, and correct me if I'm wrong, because it's your marriage that I'm talking about. You guys have changed as people. You guys have sort of there's a sort of fork in the road where she stayed the course and you sort of went this different way.
Yeah.
And in that course of diverging, more and more issues accumulated between you two, right?
Yeah. Well, the crazy thing is, this has been, I think this book is really good for me because it's been something that I've subconsciously and consciously have been doing over 15 years, gradually, up until like the last 2 years. It is like severely escalated, and then the last 2 weeks, it's like gone off the charts. You know what I mean? And I realized that I have not been great at setting boundaries with her, to the point where I asked her to move out again. You know, and so she's moved out, and so the boys are with me, and it's I mean, she still sees the boys every day. I would never take the boys from her. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, they need their mother just as much as they need their father, right?
Right.
Utterly clear with her, without mincing any words, what I expected from her in a text.
Yeah.
And you saw that text.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was received shockingly well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like,
I was surprised.
Fucked. You were surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Corey's my cousin is surprised. Mike is surprised. You know, I shared it with Mike.
Why do you think it was received so well?
I was clear and concise of what I expected for me to continue in this relationship.
And you don't think you were clear and concise before?
I don't think I was. Let me back up. There were times I was, and there were times I wasn't.
Oh.
And this is one of the times where there was no mincing of words, and it worked great. It's like, and I wasn't rude, I wasn't mean. I was just like, this is what I expect, and this is what I'm willing to accept. And, and
I think we should, in the next podcast, I think people are, if they're listening, they're a little bit confused because they don't understand the context between what's going on between you and your wife. They don't really understand how you were operating before and what you're doing now differently.
Because I was a nice guy before, I was trying to appease her.
Yeah.
Instead of the nice guy book one of the first things it tells you is you have to, if you're not getting the life you want, you have to put yourself first. And that sounds really selfish. He clarifies that in the book.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
From my perspective, coming from an Eastern sort of way of thinking, I feel like Western people are too selfish.
I agree.
Yeah.
And coming from a Mormon background, the rest of Western civilization is very selfish.
Yeah.
Because I think Mormons and Eastern backgrounds are very like, it's all about the community and all about the family, which it is. I'm not downplaying that. It's very important. I mean,
I think that we should, I should read the book too.
But for the nice guy, the nice guy is very about putting their own needs to the side for the greater good, when they should probably step back a little bit and put some of their needs ahead of everybody else.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love for me to read the book, you read the book, and we can have a podcast kind of.
It's so good. I'm going to read it again.
Yeah. Like going through like the points in the book and applying it to our lives and things like that.
In fact, Corey and I just put it this morning. I put a tonneau on his Titan pickup truck. And
you put a tonneau on his Titan.
we got that load wrapped.
You put a tonneau on his Titan so you could secure his load, huh?
Yeah, his load is totally secured now.
Okay. And on that note,
no, but we're gonna do a video shoot down at the San Rafael swell.
Yeah.
And I think I'm gonna bring him on because we're gonna listen to the book on the way down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm gonna take my phone and I'm gonna probably do like a couple, because he's had an interesting life with. He's been married 3 times.
Yeah, we gotta start bringing people on. Is what we gotta do.
And so if you're all right with that, I'd like to do that with him. And
I think it'd be cool. We can do it here. We can do it at UVU.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. On that note, what do you think?
Should we wrap it up?
I think we should wrap it up. I need to go pee.
Oh. Yeah. Well, anyway, that's our update.
We just wanted to do a quick update.
Yeah.
Before we kind of delve into things a little bit more deep. Once the app is released, because I think we're going to get a little bit more granular. Mm-hmm. We're going to start talking about messages. We're going to start talking about experiences, communications with other people, things that we want to improve, things like that. So I think it'll get a little bit more interesting. And we want to bring on more guests.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So this is sort of us warming up.
On that note, if you're in the Salt Lake Valley and you're watching this or listening to it and you have a story to tell or want to ask a question or have a debate,
would love to.
Hit us up.
Would love to.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Cool.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.